All right, my friends, today we are in an E92 M3, and as you guys know, the E92 M3 has a beautiful S65 V8 engine that we're gonna open up shortly. And Chris, the owner, has done a great job in setting this car up. So obviously the engine is the strong suit of this vehicle, but people have some small niggling complaints here and there about the car, and he's done a great job in setting it up to address those issues. So something as small as the gear selector being rubbery, which is an issue in most BMWs that I have driven. He has a short shift kit that makes it nice and tight and notchy. He's done a lot of other work too. Stage 2 tune with the engine. I'm actually going to have the full list of changes he's done, the mods he's done in the description, because it's too much for me to remember, to be frank. But he's done stage 2 tune, full exhaust, SPL arms, KW coilovers, and BBS wheels wrapped in PS4S tires. Not as sticky as the AO52s he had before, but I personally still do like PS4S, and that's what I use on my own car. Now, with all these changes, he has saved weight. He's down to about 3,400 pounds, almost 200 pounds saved between the suspension, exhaust, and wheels. The stock vehicle weight is closer to 3,600 pounds. Now, the E92 M3 does have a strut front suspension, multi-link rear, and hydraulic steering, which, if there's one input in the car that I am the most fussy about, it's actually steering, more so than even the pedals or the gear selector. He's also done some work with the clutch. So the clutch pedal has better feel with the engagement point, and just the way that the E92 engine is, the throttle response is immediate, and I mean, I love that. It makes actually not just driving it hard easier and more fun and more rewarding, but even simple things like rev matching or heel towing. Overall, a pretty predictable car to drive. It does inspire confidence. You have plenty of feedback through the steering wheel with that hydraulic rack. Not the most feedback I've experienced in a hydraulic rack, but definitely better than the average electric steering rack, obviously. So let's open this up a little bit and let me tell you more about how it drives. Actually, one issue here before we get too wound up, especially going downhill. The car has stock brakes, which those do not inspire as much confidence, if I'm being honest. However, Chris told me he is getting an AP Racing brake kit, just having some shipping issues, supply chain, the Rona, you know. So not as bitey. I haven't quite experienced fade. I haven't been pushing the car that hard for that long. A little squirrely. A pretty rewarding car to drive. And especially once you get past 6,000 RPM, the way that this engine just pulls is so addicting. E92s are also known for being quite predictable. They're front engine, rear wheel drive, which is what I'm most used to, what I think a lot of people are most used to in terms of driving dynamics and driving closer to the limit. Angeles Crest Highway, would say is, if once Chris gets those brakes installed, I think this car will be quite well rounded. But if I'm being honest, I do prefer cars that are a little bit lighter, and you can only do so much with the stock weight, 3,600 pounds, unless you want to strip the interior and really hashtag race car. You're not going to get this car below 3,000 pounds, which is where I enjoy driving vehicles the most. This car handled its weight well, but it's also not really fooling you. Like, you can tell that this is 3,400 pounds. It feels its weight. And again, everyone has different preferences and biases. I am biased towards lightweight cars just based on my own experience and the way I enjoy driving. But one of the things I love about BMW M3s, and this is actually a point of contention, is that it is a dual-purpose vehicle. You are able to daily this. It's relatively practical. You're able to enjoy it, and at the same time, when you get to the canyons, you can let it rip or take it to the track, as I believe Chris does. So some people will say, hey, it's not a true sports car. Yeah, I mean, that's a valid point. It depends on what you want. For a one-car solution, I think this would be excellent, assuming that you don't need to use the rear seats too often, but in an emergency, in this tight situation, you can fit people back there that you don't like. Don't inspire as much confidence as I would like, but that is something Chris is addressing shortly. In terms of driving dynamics, the E92, well balanced, right? Front engine, rear wheel drive, traditional setup. Not going to really bite you hard if you mess up. It's a little bit more predictable, a little bit more progressive, and I mean, I love the steering. Turn is nice and tight and immediate. The nice thing about having such an immediate throttle response too, and just the way the car is set up, is if you do experience some understeer, you can just dab the throttle and turn that into oversteer and then get the front end to grip again. Overall, a very rewarding car to drive here in the canyons. These seats a little bit more than I'm used to. What a great car. Even these PS4Ss, they grip pretty well. They're not quite those AO52s, but Alright guys, so I got cut a little bit short because my camera overheated. Some final thoughts. In terms of suspension, really well sorted. It's not too stiff, it's not too soft, right? You're not getting a lot of roll in the corners, and yet while, you know, ACH is a beautiful road, it's not the smoothest road, and even having those bumps mid-corner is not upsetting the vehicle's balance. For the most part. There was maybe just 1 or 2 instances where things got a little bit squirrely, but overall just really impressed by this car, man. It's such a joy to drive. Chris did an excellent job. The engine, the base engine for this car coming from the factory is beautiful, and then he has really addressed any shortcomings. I love the shifter feel, the throttle response is amazing. What he did with the suspension is really excellent. And again, I'm very picky when it comes to steering, and the hydraulic steering on this is excellent. I think that because of the suspension work he has done on this car, the steering feedback might even be a little bit improved over stock. But it's a sharp car, other than just the brakes, which he's addressing with the AP Racing kit. Really amazing car, really well done. 2012 E92 M3. Alright guys, that is it for this video. Thanks for watching, much love, and I'll see you guys in that next one.